She prayed so hard and cried to God to give her own husband because time was no longer. Two friends of the same age, Cynthia and Jenifer, grew up together in the same compound. They loved going for errands together. People living in their estate called them twins from different mothers because of how close they were. They went to the same school. They loved sharing gifts with each other. Jenifer and Cynthia went to the same university. They studied the same course because they shared the dream of becoming the top CEOs in Nigeria. With this zeal, they studied hard. They both graduated with a first class. They were so happy and proud of each other. Their dreams were finally coming true. After they graduated, Jenifer got a job as a secretary in a good organization, while Cynthia traveled out of the country for her master's degree. A year passed, and Jenifer's mom started pressuring her to get married before she aged 30. Her mother said that it would be impossible to get a husband once a lady is 30 years of age. She advised Jenifer to open her eyes and start looking for a suitable man that is available to marry, since she is already 28 years old. And time is no longer on her side. Soon the pressure became worse for Jenifer because her father added to it. He would call her and ask her if she already have a man that is ready to marry her. And when she replied that she has none, he would shake his head and say that he is disappointed in her. It didn't take long for Jenifer to give in to the pressure. She started dressing more and started going to parties and wedding events, trying to get a man's attention. She was now desperate to get married before she clocked 30. She went to different night vigils that her mom suggested to her. She prayed so hard and cried to God to give her own husband because time was no longer on her side. Jenifer started visiting various pastors and prophets, and when she visited a pastor, he would tell her to be patient. But she had no time to be patient. She wanted the pastor to tell her the name of her husband, his address, his skin color, and the day she would meet him. But when they told her to be patient, she would move to another pastor to get a good reply. One day, after one of her outings, Jenifer ordered for a boat ride to go home. Once the boat car arrived, Jenifer could not help but admire the boat driver. He was looking so handsome. She loved his dark skin and his lips. She loved the way he was looking so neat, and his voice also. Once he reached her house, she asked him for his name. He told her that his name is David. She gave him her phone to put his phone number, that she just liked him as a friend. David was surprised, but he didn't want to disappoint Jenifer, and so he typed his phone number in her phone. She paid David double of what she was supposed to pay for the boat ride and told him that she would call him frequently. Jenifer started sending David flirty text message every night. Whenever she called David's line, he would decline, and sometimes he would tell her he was busy. David is not a responsible man. It was womanizing and drinking that made him drop out of the university. One of his uncles pitied him and gave him his vehicle to start a business. That was how he became a boat driver. Even as a boat driver, he still didn't stop womanizing. He preferred prostitutes because he didn't have to be committed to them and can just pay them after service. Whenever David got Jenifer's flirty text message, he would hiss and mock her among his friends. In the middle of the night, Jenifer's mom woke her up. She reminded Jenifer that she was no longer getting young and time was fast going. She told Jenifer to be serious in finding a man. Jenifer told her mom about David. She opened up about everything and how he has not been responding to her. She told her mom that she was in love with David and have tried to reach out to him every day, but he never responded. Her mom instructed her to go on 7 days fasting from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and that the prayer point should be David must marry her. Jenifer agreed and started the fasting the next day. On the 7th day, she was so tired in the office. As she was arranging the last file on her desk, a text message entered her phone. To her surprise, it was David. David sent her his house address and told Jenifer to visit him the next day. Jenifer was so happy. She closed from work early and rushed home to tell her mom the good news. Her mom was also happy for her and told Jenifer to wear a sexy dress and carry food when she's going to David's house. She also told Jenifer not to hold back when she's in David's house because this was her only chance. That evening, Jenifer rushed to the market and bought a sexy red gown. She also bought red innerwears. She could not sleep all through the night. David texting her on the last day of her fasting showed he was her destined husband. She called her boss and told him she won't be coming to work the next day because she was sick. The next day, she woke up very early to cook the delicious meal, wore her red dress and rushed to David's house. A young man saw Jenifer on the street. He admired her and stopped her to have a word with her. But Jenifer ignored him harshly. She told him she belonged to another man who is her destined husband. When she got to David's house, she noticed the place was untidy. Lots of beer bottles were all over the ground. She dropped the food she brought in the kitchen and started cleaning the house. David didn't bother. He was busy browsing his phone and didn't help her. When Jenifer finished cleaning the house, she warmed the food she brought and served David like a king. This surprised David because he had never met a lady like this who was this forward. He thanked her and enjoyed the meal. Soon they watched movie and started talking. Jenifer told him about her job, the school she went to, and that she was in love with him. She also told him that she fasted for 7 days and God told her that he is her husband. David was dumbfounded. He saw desperation in her eyes and decided to use it to his own advantage. He kissed her first to see her reaction, and Jenifer didn't hold back. Jenifer remembered her mom's advice in securing her position in David's heart, and so she spent the night in David's house. The next morning, she woke up and met David drinking in the parlor. She told him that it was too early to be drinking in the morning, but David snubbed her. Immediately, Jenifer apologized to David and asked him to forgive her if she had offended him. She rushed to the market to get foodstuffs so she could cook food for David. While she was shopping in the market, an old woman called her and admired her. She told her that she was so young and beautiful. The old woman started calling Jenifer sweet names. Jenifer thanked the old woman for admiring her beauty and explained to her that she came to the market to get foodstuff for her boyfriend, that she hoped he would marry her soon. The old woman advised Jenifer not to be in a hurry to marry, so she won't end up with the wrong man like she did. She also told Jenifer that she is suffering abuse in her marriage and she regrets it every day. But Jenifer just thanked the lady and ignored the advice that she was given. She got back to David's house, cooked and stocked his fridge with foodstuff. She visited David every day and eventually they started dating. One afternoon, Jenifer went to David's house after work and caught him with another woman. She was so upset. She told her mom what she saw, but was surprised when her mom scolded her for leaving David's house just like that. Her mom said she left David in the hands of another woman instead of fighting for her husband. She was shocked when her mom said it's not a big deal for a man to cheat and that all men cheat. Her mom told her that she over-exaggerated and so she should go and apologize to David immediately. That night, Jenifer could not sleep. What her mom told her kept resounding in her head. Immediately, she felt guilty for not fighting for her husband and decided to go and apologize to David the next day. The next day came and Jenifer bought gifts and went to David's house. She begged David to forgive her for overreacting and that she understands that all men cheat. David forgave her. After months passed, Jenifer started pressuring David on when he will meet her parents. She would be 30 by the end of the year and she didn't want to clock 30 before getting married. David always walked out whenever she brought up this topic, saying he had a lot in his head. She reported this to her mom and her mom advised her to get pregnant for David, that getting pregnant for David would force him to marry her. Jenifer followed her mom's advice and got pregnant for David. She was so happy to reveal the good news to David. David was so angry and threatened her to abort the child or he won't marry her. He said he does not plan to have a child before getting married, but planned to have kids 1 year after marriage. Jenifer begged David, but he refused and told her to choose between him or the pregnancy. Watch out for part 2. Will Jenifer abort the child? Thank you for watching this story. Comment on what you learned and do not forget to like and share with your loved ones. Subscribe to this YouTube channel to enjoy more stories. See you soon.